Across the country, United Health Group is working with local partners to build healthier communities every day. That includes helping partners like the Good Acre provide 45,000 meals and lower A1C in the Twin Cities, and helping Hello Family doulas deliver 44% fewer underweight births in Spartanburg. Because building healthier communities starts by giving people access to the care and services they need to live healthier lives. Learn more at unitedhealthgroup.com/commitment.
Whether it's a movie night or just midday, Skinny Pop is a salty snack that keeps on giving. Made with just 3 simple ingredients for an irresistibly delicious taste and a large serving size that lasts. Deliciously popped, perfectly salted. Skinny Pop, popular for a reason. Shop Skinny Pop now.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
The Daily Braw. This is anything but footy at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games.
An historic medal for Scotland at the gymnastics in Glasgow. I'm Michael.
And in Glasgow, I'm John, and another flower of Scotland in the pool as Adam Ramsay-Peaty goes for gold again later.
We've got the latest news from the Commonwealth Games, and don't forget you can hear us live every day on TalkSport via their website, DAB Digital Radio on AM, on your smart speaker, and via the TalkSport app.
This is Anything But Footy with the Daily Braw from the biggest sporting event in the UK this year.
And we should probably start where all the action was last night, and that was at Tollcross at the swimming pool.
We could start there, if you so wished. I think we should talk about gold medal, for which you rat. And this is the interesting thing. Michael Waddock, every time he goes somewhere, there is a gold medal. So at least a medal as well. You start at the powerlifting, the first medal we had. Then you went off to Tollcross, and you had the success of Duncan Scott. Obviously, you would. It was all down to you personally. And then yesterday, you were like, "Oh, should we mix it up? You go swimming in the evening, and I'll go to gymnastics." And what happens at the gymnastics?
Well, what happened was Scotland's first ever gold medalist in the men's all-around gymnastics. It went to Rebeun Ward, who celebrated his 21st birthday just last week. He held his nerve whilst most of his key rivals made errors. So Canada's Felix Dulcie was his main rival. He won the silver, but he did make a mistake on the pommel horse, so that cost him the gold. There was also a bad mistake for Team England's Luke Whitehouse on the same piece of apparatus, also cost him his chance. So Ward, who, as you saw, narrowly missed out on a medal in the team event, still has individual floor and pommel horse finals to come. He won the gold medal here in Glasgow, where he told me he watched the games in 2014 from the stands as a youngster, and that was Team Scotland's third gold medal of the games. Brilliant atmosphere, as you know, in the arena for the gymnastics.
And you talk about the fact he's in the apparatus finals for the floor and the pommel. I mean, they were world-class performances, weren't they? In qualifying, and I think even yesterday, they were over 14 points, and that is world-class. That's Rhys McClenaghan level.
Yeah, I mean, for a man who's just 21 years of age, who has already got one medal from these games and could well get another couple, we are sort of entering into that territory which will see him, I think, begin to rival the likes of Jake Jarman and Joe Fraser and others that have done it on the world stage, of, you know, won medals at Olympic level, for example, as well. And I definitely think that Rebeun Ward have seen enough of him this week to think that he will definitely be one of those that we should definitely be following, definitely be watching on that road to Los Angeles, because I definitely think we have medal prospects from him at an Olympic level going forward.
And today they have, or day 4 of these games, he's back right in action. We've got the pommel horse final, as you say, and the floor final as well. So we could be talking more about Rebeun later on today. It's a busy day in the Commonwealth Games. In fact, it is the most competitive day of the Games, with 8 sports in action, which feels about right, because we've got a week to go, haven't we? We've got 7 days left to go, and that feels like some of the other sports need to get on board. Other ones will begin to round up.
Yeah, obviously we've got all those exercise finals and vault finals and pommel horse finals, uneven bars finals. Got the women in action as well. Went to see the women's all around last night as well. That wasn't to be as far as the home nations were concerned. Ruby Evans started really well, but had a fall on the beam. That rather affected her. Unfortunately for Ruby Evans, couldn't be on the podium. The standout as far as the home nations is concerned, Shantae Eve Amankwa, who finished fourth in the end. She was in the bronze medal position. We had the very final gymnast, Ellie Black of Canada, who had her floor routine. And I did ask Shantae at the end, I said, were you sat there hoping she made some kind of big mistake or big error? But fourth place was far exceeding her expectations. She's in the uneven bars final later with Emily Roper, who actually finished above Ruby Evans. So all the chat ahead of that women's final was, oh, what's Ruby Evans going to do? It was actually Emily Roper of Wales that finished above her. So, yeah, big afternoon at the gymnastics. I said we should have started with the swimming.
Yes.
Because you saw a Team Scotland gold as well.
I did, and it was my first Flower of Scotland, which I have waited a number of days for. So day 3, it finally came. It was absolutely nothing to do with me. Angharad Evans performing so brilliantly for Scotland in the 100 metres breaststroke. We are incredibly good. We talked about on the podcast yesterday at breaststroke, and now, of course, we've got the fact that the 100 meters women's breaststroke is in the Olympic finals. We've got Angharad and you've got others coming through, which is great to see. The 100 meters is one of those things in the swimming pool, because you're in a 50-meter Olympic pool. Obviously, you go one leg down, then you come back for the return. And Angharad said to me afterwards, I didn't want to be ahead when I turned at the wall. That was my second 50 metres is my strongest. And it was Amy Canny of South Africa who turned first. And I said to Angharad, with 25 metres to go, did you know you had her? And she looked at me with a smile on her face and said, no, I didn't know I had her, but it's where my strength is. And she came through and through, and it was a brilliant victory. And she said before the race she'd been incredibly nervous. She's just a nervous swimmer, but she says her mum is even worse. She can't even speak to her on the day, and can't watch as well. So congratulations to the Evans family, a gold medal for Scotland, as you say, Michael, a brilliant start and a brilliant day for them on day 3 of these games. Some of the other swimming headlines I mentioned, Adam Ramsay-Peaty, he was back in the pool last night for the semi-finals. He finished third fastest for the final tonight in the 50-meter breaststroke. This is where you jump in, swim as fast as you can, and get to the end wall. It's pretty simple. You just got to do it quick. It's got to be 26 seconds from a breaststroke point of view. He told Talksport afterwards that he has bounce back ability, and he'd been through the 3 stages of grief from his bronze medal from the night before. So he's refocused. He's ready to go. Third fastest, as I say. Sam Williamson of Australia, who won the gold ahead of him, is in that final as well, was faster than Ramsay-Peaty, and Philip Navaki is in that final as well. I didn't swim quite as well yesterday, but I asked him, how's your last 24 hours been? And he admitted it had been quite fun, but still lots of work for him to do. So another great night at the swimming pool, and it ended very quickly with the 4x200 meter relay, where Australia, of course, were expected to be the favourites. They were up against Scotland, England, Wales. Now, Great Britain, from the Olympics point of view, the men's, of course, have won the gold medal twice in a row and win it quite regularly. They retained the title. James Guy and Tom Dean were in that England team, and they pushed Australia really, really hard. In fact, they led all the way until the final leg, where Max Litchfield was swimming and swam very, very well, but the Australians just kind of came through, and that was actually Max Litchfield's first ever Commonwealth medal. And I told him that, and I told the other boys when I was interviewing them for Talk Sport, and James and Tom and Gabriel Shepherd, who was also part of the team, were like, "What have you been doing for 12 years, Max? Is that your first Commonwealth Games medal?" Bless him. It was a great night, and we're going to get the Australians again, of course, in LA.
And celebrated by being interrupted having his dinner by you in his hotel.
Yes, he was having some food. I bumped into him as we were having a debrief after the swimming last night. So yeah, well done to him. Well done to Team England, and Wales got the bronze, I should say, as well, and Scotland with Duncan Scott. So when all of those nations come together, you can see why Great Britain is so strong at the men's 200-meter freestyle. Watch out for that final later on in the week in the swimming. Probably one of the highlights of the week to come.
A couple of other headlines just from yesterday. The boxers, the home nations boxers generally, certainly from a Team England point of view, seem to be negotiating the rounds pretty good. Went to see Ellis Trowbridge and Lauren Mackey, and also Wales's Helen Jones. They are all now one fight away from winning a medal. But at the netball, I think we can pretty much put the gold medals around the necks of the Australians, the reigning champions. Destroyed England, really, 66-47 at the Hydro.
Yeah, an under par performance, said Fran Williams, one of the England players. And the 3x3 basketball, I think, is kind of coming to a climax in the next couple of days. England are doing well across the three formats, men's, women's, and 3x3. Four formats, of course, with men and women both in the 3x3. So England men, I watched them yesterday, and they seem to be on the verge of the semi-finals after big wins against Australia earlier in the week and Canada yesterday. So looking good for them. So day 4, Michael, what have we got to come?
Well, it's the start of the track and field, so a lot of people, I think, will be very interested in what is happening at Scotstoun Stadium. So we'll have a morning session, and then we will have some finals tonight. We will have some gold medals, and I think when you look at what is happening this evening as far as medals and home nations are concerned, I certainly think you should be looking at a couple of the para categories this evening as well. So you're going to have the women's T37, 38, 100 metres final. That should see Sophie Hahn of England up against Olivia Breen, who's the Team Wales captain. So she's the overall captain. Hahn, of course, has been so good for so long, but Olivia Breen did beat her in Birmingham in the Birmingham Commonwealth Games. Also, you might see Thomas Young in the men's T37, 3800 metres final for Team England later on in the evening as well. But as far as some of the other names in action later on tonight, I think from a home nations point of view, all eyes will be probably on Georgia Hunter-Bell, who has to negotiate her way through the first round of the women's 800.
Yeah, she does. And the world champion, Adira of Kenya, is over here at these Commonwealth Games, which is great to see as well. And we've also got the men's and women's 100 metres first round. If you're worried, like I was yesterday, that Amy Hunt is not in the start list for the women's 100 metres, she's straight through to the semi-finals, which will be tomorrow at Scotstoun. We are very much looking forward to athletics coverage on TalkSport, as you say. Michael will be there morning and night. The medal table then, Australia 17 golds, 39 medals. England 4 golds, 19 medals. Scotland 4 golds, 6 medals. You saw one yesterday. I saw one yesterday. And Nigeria and Canada, who could have won more in the pool last night, actually, as well. They make up the top 5. And one other thing to mention quickly, Northern Ireland won their first silver medal. They got a bronze, of course, the day before in the swimming. They got a silver last night from Barry McClements in the pool.
And you can follow the whole of the Commonwealth Games over on TalkSport, wherever you listen to TalkSport, whether it's via the website, DAB Digital Radio, AM, smart speaker, or via the TalkSport app. Commonwealth Games Live. They will have a programme till 7 o'clock and updates throughout the day.
This is Anything But Footy at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games.